Let's talk more about overcoming objections, because overcoming objections is a really key concept. It's the way you close sales. When someone's hesitant to buy, what are some of the things you can do to help push them over that obstacle to get them to buy? So there's a key concept that you need to understand, which is people don't change their minds. They get new information, and then in considering that information, they conceivably change their mind. But they do something different than they were doing before. But it's new information that makes that happen. One of the things that I'm sure many of us find terribly upsetting is anytime there's an election or a heavy political issue, what ends up happening is you get a whole bunch of people on social media repeating the same thing over and over, not adding any new information, just saying it more, thinking that somehow that's going to change people's mind. And sometimes they do it by yelling louder and louder. That doesn't change it. So if you go back to the process of helping people overcome their objections, let's say you're doing a webinar and you've got these three are the key three reasons why they should buy your product. Just stating those three reasons 6 times during that webinar is not going to get people to buy your product. If they didn't buy the first or maybe the second time they heard those 3 reasons, you need to add a 4, 5, and 6. And then you need to add a 7, 8, and 9. And you need to give them something else that they haven't yet considered. New information that they haven't yet considered, because new information oftentimes invites reconsideration of their decision that said no, they shouldn't buy. Or even more importantly, is the person who's saying, I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there. That new information is what pushes them into the, okay, I'm putting my credit card in. All right, let's take a specific example here. Price. So if they're believing that it is too expensive, there are a number of things, pieces of new information that you can give them that they probably ought to think of themselves, but they're unlikely to do so, that will help them overcome their pricing objection. For example, let's say you're selling something that helps them make money, business building thing, whatever it is, okay? How many sales will they have to make in order to pay for it? So if your program is $1,000 and they sell their product for $500, they've got to make 2 sales to be able to pay for that thing. And though you and I know that they should be smart enough to make that connection, they're probably not making it. And so you just pointing out, hey, if you sell your product for $500, you only have to sell 2 more. And what's the likelihood with all this great information that I'm giving you and this bonus and this bonus and this tool and that tool, all that you're not going to make at least 2 more sales? Oh, come on. It's certainly going to be more than that. Do you see what I just did? I just helped them understand something that they should understand otherwise. But for some people, they're going to go, oh yeah, you're right. Here's another one. How much is it going to cost them not to have that problem solved? So let's say you sell a weight loss product. If they don't get over the extra 55 pounds of weight that they're carrying around, it's going to cost them doctors. It's going to cost them higher insurance rates. It's going to cost them a potential severe disease thing. And it's like you start adding that all up, plus clothing, not attracting the people that they want to, not getting the jobs they want, all those kinds of things like that. When you start showing them that, then they go, oh, you're right. This is a bigger problem than I'm thinking it is right now. Next, how much are they going to have to pay to solve that problem without you? So if they don't buy what it is that you are offering them, they're going to have to find some other way. They're going to go through another 11 diets. They're going to have to buy Weight Watchers and this plan and that plan and that plan. And by the time they're done, they're going to pay $10,000 to lose those 50 pounds. Why not just pay you $497? Next, what are the additional life benefits of having that problem solved in their life? So oftentimes people are unable to get to that point. People don't tend to think about the additional benefits. They think, okay, he's going to show me how to lose weight. And if I lose weight, then I'll be skinnier. They don't get that if they don't lose that weight, they're not going to be able to go out and play with their grandkids when they're 65 years old, play tag with them. They're not going to be able to, and you start listing all the different things that are the benefits, and that was actually a negative as opposed to a benefit, but that negative turns into a benefit of you'll be able to play with your grandkids and actually play kickball and run around the bases when you're 65 that you may not be able to if you keep that extra 50 pounds going, etc. So you start naming all those other things in their life that they'll tend to get as a result of achieving the transformation that you're promising. And that's oftentimes new information because people don't think that thought. Now, of course, there's always the one more piece in this that comes up that's new information, that is testimonials. Now, we've talked about testimonials a bunch of times, but the place where testimonials become particularly impactful when we talk about giving people new information, because people rarely change their mind. You give them new information that causes them to reconsider where they were before. And that is, the more relevant the testimonial is to their specific situation, the more likely that testimonial is to give them new information, to cause them to say, oh, this could work for me. So the impact of this is the more testimonials you can get, the better. And the more specifics that are in those testimonials, the better. So it's not good enough to put Bob from Gary, Indiana. Ideally, you're putting Bob, father of 3 teenage girls, Gary, Indiana, when your course is on how to have better relationships with your teenagers. Those kinds of things. The more specific, the more new information you give them. Another key piece is information is how much time is it going to take them to learn using your system? This is a key question everybody's got. It's like, how many hours am I going to spend in your program? And then this one, which is how much time is it going to take me to implement this? Now here I put without and with. So if they wanted to implement that solution without buying your program, it's going to cost you X number of weeks and X number of dollars to get there. With it, it's going to take you Y number of weeks, hopefully shorter, and Y number of dollars, hopefully smaller. Again, new information. Ideally, what you're doing is you are giving them information that basically says that you and your program are the easy button. This should be read with white words. It's not. So those are some aspects to consider around this concept of you rarely change people's minds. You give them new information that causes them to reconsider. What new information? First off, do you have a sales system right now that's reliant upon small bits of information repeatedly said, sometimes louder and louder? Or are you actively working to give people more information, enabling them to do that? What's your experience with this? Do you buy into what I'm saying? Have you found pieces of information that have made a difference in making sales? Let me know in the chat. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.